Hello, chat. Hello, chat. I'm in a bit of a mood right now. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm in a bit of a mood right now. I'm in a bit of a mood right now because I was trying to get something to work and it didn't work. I was gonna be so happy if it actually worked. Give me a moment. Sorry, I was finishing dinner there. Lunch slash dinner. How you guys doing today? How you guys doing today? Today is the finale of nothing but relics for the past couple days. And tomorrow is TennoCon. Are you guys excited about that? Still sick? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you all are doing better than Lumi is right now. I hope you all are doing way better than Lumi is, because Lumi is sick. I don't know what with, but hopefully they feel better. I am okay. So let me kind of set the stage for what I was gonna do today. Okay? I don't have anything, unfortunately, to show you, because the way that it worked... Here, am I loud enough? Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Ah, there we go. That's much better. Excuse me. So there is this program called Motion Studio .tv. It's something that I've been paying attention to for a while as a 3D environment studio. Sorry, I need to fix my model. It's looking up for some reason. I apologize for that. There we go. A little bit better. Now I actually look like I'm looking at you. But anyway, if you're lagging, you might want to switch over to YouTube then, because the stream is doing all right. Anyway, as I was saying, I was really interested in this project called Motion Studio, and it is a very good program that allows you to create your own 3D environments. And technically, I should have been able to include my model in it. However, the program does not recognize the software I use for my 3D model. Now, there are a lot of 3D model programs out there. However, they are not very user-friendly, and I don't really like the lack of actual guides out there. And maybe this will catch me some flack, but I have not seen a good showcase of VC face from a VTuber. All right, if you are the VTubers out there that made these tutorials, you talk too much, you show too little. I don't like your tutorial. All right, that is all there needs to be said about it. Is I don't like your tutorial. None of you have a good tutorial. I'm sorry. Maybe this is just partially me in the mood, but I didn't like any of the tutorials I was looking at to try and figure it out. Like, I tried to look up one thing. Nobody included timestamps. There was just a lot of stuff that wasn't right here. All right. So I'm working on getting Motion Studio to work. I may or may not hold off of actually using it until I get my new model. If that's the case, you're gonna see some pretty dang good stuff. Sounds like I'd have to do it myself? Yes. Yes, it is. If someone uses VC Face, it's the most reliable. It probably is reliable, but I have absolutely no idea how to use it because nobody knows how to make a decent guide. And this is one of the things I hate with guide videos. I understand that you're trying to pad them out for time. It's like, hey guys, I'm here. Thank you so much for subscribing. Spend 5 minutes talking about why this program is actually really amazing. It's like, I know this thing is amazing. I want to use it. You don't need to explain that to me. All right? I want you within the first minute to explain how I'm supposed to do this and how things are supposed to go. Okay? I want to know how to change the color of my background. I want to know how to adjust it to where my model isn't flip, because like one of the reasons why I'm not using it is it made my model flip all over the place and go all crazy. And that was not cool. I'm pretty sure you guys would get motion sickness from watching it. So I was like, yeah, this ain't working, and nobody's able to make a good guide for it. What if I made a guide? If you make a guide, it better be straight and to the point. And all you need to do is talk about how it's supposed to work and make it as user-friendly as possible. And use timestamps, please. Please use timestamps, alright? So I can skip around and come back to things. Oh my goodness, sorry. It's enough complaining for me, but I am working on creating a 3D environment as a bedroom for me that I think will enhance my streams. Like, the goal is for you guys to come into the stream, and once the starting soon is done, I am just sitting in a bedroom, and then the chat is just like hanging in the air. And that is a long-term thing that I am working on. I'm going to start working on it tomorrow, after I do my editing. But yeah, I'm just upset because I didn't get what I wanted to done, because I really wanted to set something up for tonight. But it's just not working. It's just not working. You know, anyway. Let's play some Warframe. I have done a lot of off-camera grinding, okay? I have nearly 7,000. My goal before Borrow comes tomorrow is to get 7,000, maybe close to 8,000 ducats here. I don't know how possible that is, but I would like to get close because I feel like it's very possible to do. Excuse me. I feel like it's very possible to do, and I think I can do it. I think 7,000 to 8,000 ducats is definitely possible. And once I do that, see, here's the thing. Tomorrow, while the stream, because tomorrow what's going to happen is, if they are okay with dual streaming, I will stream TennoCon. Okay? If they are not okay with dual streaming, I will probably not do a stream tomorrow. I will probably do something else. We'll see. We will see. I hope and pray that I can stream it, because I would just like to show it off to people. But anyway, let's not dally any longer. Who wants to join in? Who wants to get some more relics done with me? I've got one topic that I'd like to talk about tonight, that I want people's input on. And so I am, like last night, the goal is to get as much as possible. I'm trying to create a full party here, because once I start talking about tonight's topic, I'm not planning on stopping until I'm actually done. Okay? So, yeah. Who would like to join for the epic relic fun here? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no more Axie relics. I spent them all. But I have a lot of the other relics that... In fact, I will just show you guys the relics I have left over, because I have a few. Vaughn, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. I have quite a few Meso relics left over. I'm not quite sure how many of those we'll get through tonight. I have a decent amount of Neo relics left over. There's quite a lot of Neo relics. I'm just going to be honest with you. And then I have a decent amount of Lith relics. I think Lith and Axie are like my most used. And then Neo is probably somewhere in there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This will be interesting. What merge? We'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll talk about that as soon... We'll talk about this soon as we get set up here. So who would like to join? If nobody joins, I'm just going to get started. And if it, like, what will happen is if nobody joins, I won't be adding people until I'm done talking. So if you want to join up for relics, now is the time to do it. Okay? Okay, just letting you guys know. What do we got tonight? We don't have... Wow, we actually have a lot of... We actually really don't have a lot tonight. That's crazy. Well, we'll start with whatever's the easiest. I would like to join. Alright, like I say every time, if you would like to join, just throw your username. Throw your username if you would like to join, and I will try and add you to the party. Thank you, Knight. I appreciate it. You have to be on YouTube? No, you don't have to be on YouTube. It's Twitch or YouTube. It's just not TikTok. Is the only requirement here. Alright, we've sent out some invites. I just don't say Twitch because I kind of mean Twitch and YouTube together. Alright, we got a full party. We got a full party. Cat says someday you'll see my name again. Very true. one day we will see Cat playing again. He's actually got to get... he's actually got to fix a couple things. That's up to him to say if he wants to, but he's got to get some things fixed out. Oh, crap. Might want to click on that before it disappears. Hopefully we can get it. Cross your fingers. Alright. Alright, do I sound good? Am I coming in alright, chat? I hope so. Let me adjust the pop filter here. Alright. How loud is the music? Turn it down just a tad. Music is up. Fine. Game is up fine. Alright. Okay, some people are asking what I am referring to, especially on Twitch. I have made it kind of ambiguous on Twitch. Just because on Twitch, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what I name the stream on Twitch, because that really doesn't determine if people watch you on Twitch, because Twitch doesn't have an algorithm. But today we are going to talk about something very interesting. Something that I feel like most people know a little bit about, because this individual is very deeply engrossed in internet history. Excuse me. In internet lore. A lot of people know this individual. I have mentioned them briefly on my Twitter account today, as of the time of this recording, and I want to talk about them because today something pretty significant happened. So some of you might know who Chris Chan is. I don't know how many of you actually know. Actually, I'll ask this. Press 1 in the chat if you know who Chris Chan is. Chris Chan has been around for over a decade almost at this point. I want to say that they've been on the internet since pretty much the inception, maybe not since the inception of YouTube, but they've been here for a while, okay? So yes, if you know who they are, please press 1. Now, for the sake of lack of confusion, I need to bring up right now Chris Chan. I am not entirely sure how to refer to them. And the reason I'm not quite sure how to refer to them is because they have gone by both male and female pronouns, sometimes at the same time. At least while they were in jail, they referred to themselves as God. And I am not quite sure in which direction to take it because of that, okay? So because of that, there may be some confusion, but just know I am going to do my best to make sure that you know who I am talking about. I'm just going to call them Chris Chan, okay? So Chris Chan has been on the internet for a while. They kind of started off not on the internet, just let me back up a little bit. Chris Chan has autism. They have had autism. Well, I mean, you don't really not have autism. Autism is something you have for pretty much your entire life, and the way that it works is you either handle it or you don't handle it. It's just one of those things. So Chris Chan has had autism their whole life, and for, I want to say, like, the first 20 or so years of their life, they really didn't have an internet presence. How it worked is they kind of grew up in their parents' household very, I want to say, inconspicuously, without internet intervention, and they kind of were, I want to say that they were just kind of like shut off from outside influences. And eventually they did get on the internet. They got on YouTube. They started making content. What Chris Chan is most known for is their parody of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu alright, from both of those properties, making an amalgamation horror called Sonichu, okay? And this is all just kind of like giving you the backstory here, alright? I want you to understand who this person is. So this person created the abomination known as Sonichu here, okay? And their entire internet life has really been steeped in a lot of people making fun of them and people trolling them, doing a lot of IRL-based things. There's a lot of things I could go into to kind of teach you about the kind of person they are. A really quick example, Chris, when they were... I want to say this was still early 2010s, early 2000s, early 2010s. They were a part of a lot of trolling attempts to make them think that they had a girlfriend, or as Chris referred to them, a sweetheart, alright? Chris liked to think that they had a sweetheart a lot of the time. And because of that, these people, and most of them were female, some of them were men masquerading as women, would trick Chris Chan into sending them things that were very not safe for work, I'll say. And so because of that, there is a lot of just ick in the world because of that. And so because of that, it's very, it's hard to, it's really hard to kind of just like point down at all of the ick that is kind of surrounded around Chris Chan, but their entire life has kind of just been up and down, and because they have autism, it's really hard, because like, as somebody who has studied autism for pretty much their entire life, as someone who's pretty much studied it and also has autism, there's a lot that I feel like you can dismiss as just Chris Chan doesn't understand anything, and a lot of it as Chris Chan should know better. And a lot of the stuff they did, I'm gonna say he probably should have known better. However, because excuse me, whoever is for starting it, please stop or you will be kicked. If I see it again, I am just going to kick you from the party. Okay. I lost my train of thought here. But basically, there is a lot of stuff that you can get, that he got away with. I want to say... Okay, who is doing that? Alright. Kept happening, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna need to start over. Oh, goodness. Here, I'm gonna invite Armajax. I'm gonna need to start over here, chat. I'm sorry. Just gonna wait for the party to join up here. There we go. Alright, who are we waiting for? I invited... Okay, I'm missing one person here. I'm gonna wait for like one more minute and then we're just gonna get started. I don't know who I sent invites to. But I would just like to get started back here. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why we're having these issues in the beginning here. Alright, we're just gonna get started. We're just gonna get started during this story. We're just gonna roll with it. Alright. Point is, Chris Chan is arguably the most documented person in history. Exactly. So that the... let me just kind of start over. Chris Chan is a person with autism. They've been on the internet for the longest time. If you don't know about them, that is okay, because in order to have known about them, you really have to kind of know some deeper internet lore. And it really is difficult to go into everything that is documented. There is a documentary series by another YouTuber named Gino Samuel that has created a very extensive documentary series. It's over 70 parts now. I think it's getting closer to 80. Documenting everything about Chris Chan's life. Like I mentioned, Chris Chan does have autism, and because they have autism, I've not really, like, given them excuses. Because in my head, even if you have autism, as someone who has grown up and studied autism my entire life, I know that there are people that have more or less cognitive understanding than others. And I do think that with Chris Chan, there were some things that I do think they knew was wrong, and there are some things that I think they just didn't understand. Now, what I will tell you is, I think there was a lot of delusion going on in Chris Chan's head, and I believe that part of that reason, because here's the thing, people with autism, some of them can grow up normal and adjusted without any problems whatsoever. I don't want to toot my own horn, so I'm not going to, but I am going to say that I feel like I grew up with a little bit of normalcy on my end. I mean, I am a VTuber, so I don't know if that would disqualify me from that, but I do have a job. I am able to hold employment, and for the most part, I am a contributing member of society. So it's not to say that autistic people can't do that, because they very much so can. It just depends on the amount of it really depends on just how far along they are on the spectrum, the autistic spectrum, and how they are raised. I think on the part of Chris Chan, they were not really raised in the best environment. One of the problems is their parents really did not, I wouldn't say they didn't know how to say no, because they definitely said no plenty, but I'll be honest with you. So Chris Chan is almost in their 40s now. Autism in people is still something that we as a society are getting used to. You know, we have a lot of people that know how to take care of autism, or autistic people. I would say that my own parents did a pretty great job, but a lot of other parents really don't know what they're doing. And because of that, there is a lot of lack that can come from it. And I do believe that the lack of understanding from Chris Chan's parents did in part lead, to the state that they are in today. I do think another part of that is also influenced by the internet presence that they had. Like I mentioned, they had an abomination aptly named Sonichu. It is a mixture of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu the Hedgehog, Pikachu the Pokemon. A very, very good combination, if I do say so myself. And the infamy, the fame or infamy, whichever one you want to go with, of this duo is what gave Chris Chan the notoriety that they have today. Pretty much the way that they got recognized on the internet is people saw their stuff. I can't remember exactly how their stuff got discovered, but somebody discovered their stuff, posted it on 4chan, and the world kind of just decided that this was their pet that they wanted to laugh at and make fun of and eventually mess with. And there was a lot of attempts where people messed with this individual. A lot of it, I'm going to tell you, I do not approve of and I do not agree with, because I personally don't, when it comes to trolling, I personally feel like you should try not to bother the person that you think is worth laughing at. And the reason is, a lot of the times what people do can border on being illegal, and even if it isn't illegal, you're really treading a fine line. And in my personal opinion, if you want to make fun of somebody, or if you want to laugh at the stupidity of somebody, There's no reason to get them involved. Just leave them to their own devices, leave them to be where they are, and let them fumble. Because there's a lot of people on the internet that I know of or I have studied, where if they were not messed with in any way, they would not have any issues. And, well, not that they wouldn't have, they wouldn't need people to troll them in order for them to fumble. Like with Chris Chan, I think that if nobody messed with them, there would still be a lot of things to laugh at and ridicule. So I'm not necessarily for people trolling Chris Chan the way that they did. There was a lot of nasty stuff that I don't think was right at all. None of it I'm going to mention here because this is obviously a family friendly. No, I'm not. It's not family friendly tonight. I'm just letting you know. I've turned off monetization for this stream, but it wasn't very good, was what I'll say. There's a lot of bad stuff. Some of it was very illegal, and the people that did that were never prosecuted, which is sad. But again, I believe that Chris Chan is a product of both his bad parenting, their bad parenting, and the trolling that went on, and also a lack to control themselves. And yeah, that is kind of what led them to where they are today. So a couple of years ago, before the world fell apart, Chris Chan was really falling down this pathway of delusion where they believed that anything they dreamt up, their OCs, you know, and for all of you role players here, your OCs are real, according to Chris Chan. And Chris Chan was really starting to believe, and part of this was in part due to people that trolled them and did a lot of nasty things to them mentally, but they ended up believing that their characters were not only real, but were eventually going to become part of this material plane and this material existence. And they coined this term that came to be known as the merge. And the merge is really just this concept where the imaginary, all right, I want you guys to imagine the imaginary world colliding with the real world. Okay? And number one, I will tell you right now that that is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Even with all of the things that I have seen with Chris Chan, I do not believe that is going to happen. Just because, one, it goes against my personal beliefs, and two, I just don't feel like it's ever, I just don't feel like it would happen. So, but yeah, Chris Chan really did believe that there was going to be a merging of life from both the fiction and the physical to create this one reality. And they also believed that all of the people that wronged them in their life would die, and all of the people that were nice to him, or all of the people that were just nice in general, would have their OCs kind of merge with them, which is really weird in my personal opinion. I think I'm getting that correct. But it's it's really weird. It's really kind of, and the thing is, as someone with autism, I don't agree with it, but I can see how the delusion of something like this can be born and cultivated and fester inside of their head. And it really is sad and unfortunate that this was allowed to fester, because again, I do believe that it did lead them down the pathway that they had today. So they coined that. They decided that they no longer wanted to be, well, I think they decided this long before that, but they decided they no longer wanted to be a man. And I believe they legally had their name changed from Christian to Christine. Now I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this up, because that part that part is kind of escapes my mind. But basically they changed their name from Chris to Christine, and they were recognized, I believe, at the very least by the law, as a female. So that's why it's kind of hard for me here, because I don't really know how to address them, and another reason why will come up later. But just putting that down here is they used to be a dude, and they transitioned, at least legally. They have not had any physical surgeries, but they have transitioned legally, and I guess mentally as well, and to what they believe as a female. Okay. All right. So timeline of events from the beginning of his life to when he believed in the merge, was a dude, then transitioned a few years ago into a female. All right, perfect. Getting caught up here. So pandemic started, and they, like everybody else, was pushed inside, which really wasn't that big of a deal for Chris, because Chris spent all of their time online talking about Sonichu, making comics, because they did make comics about their Sonichu. They wanted to be a world-renowned comic book artist. But the only issue with that is... Oh, shit, can I... You know what? It's a defense. I can do this. Chris Chan... No, just give me Sonichu. Give me the cover for Sonichu. I want to see this here. Open image. New tab. Their art style. Now, I'm not going to rip... I really can't rip it that much, because I'm not really that good of an artist myself. But because I'm not that good of an artist, I cannot... I feel like I can't draw. Well, I probably could get better. But I don't really want to draw, at least in public right now, because I'm not that good of an artist. But their art style... Okay, so this was the first comic that they drew. And it says right there, November 24th, I think that's 2004. Okay. This was their very first comic. Their style has not changed over the many years that they have been drawing. It has remained exactly the same and has not changed at all. Okay? So, during the pandemic, they just kind of worked on their craft. They kind of just did their thing. And, you know, it's whatever. They were also a really big brony, and they were really big in the bro... Like, if you were a furry or a brony, you probably knew who this individual was. But they were very big in the brony fandom, and, before the thing that happened that got them sent to jail, which I'm getting to, they wanted to go to another brony convention, and... the way I understand it is they wanted to go to another brony convention. You know, the world was still kind of falling apart. And they wanted to go to the world was still falling apart, but there was still this brony convention going on. I'm not quite sure if it was like a convention where everybody would be, you know, wearing masks all the time. I don't really know. I don't go to conventions anymore, but... They wanted to go to this, and they didn't have any money. So one of the things that they would do, that they did for basically the last few years, because they don't work. I should have mentioned that, but they don't work. They don't really have a support structure. Their support structure is you, begging for money online. It's like if I just sat here in front of the screen right here playing Warframe and told you guys to give me money. Now, I would never do that because that's dumb, alright? And I think e-begging is dumb. But it would be like that if it would just be like, hey guys, come on, you gotta up those donations, you know, you gotta give me some money. I need some gas money, all right? I gotta feed my cat, you know. You guys literally are making my cat starve. That is basically what Chris Chan did. Is sat there, and they would live stream and say, give us money. It's like, we need the money. My mom needs to eat. Give us the money. And it's just. It's just like, what the hell? Why are you begging other people to give you money when you have the ability to go make money? And they did have this ability. That is correct. They did have a disability check, but that really didn't cover a lot. Because here's the thing. And I also did research for this because family members asked me if I would ever be on disability. Now, I think I'm too highly cognitive to ever be on disability. I think that if I went to apply for something like that, if ever something were to happen, they would say I'm too smart or too well off to man, my brain is dying right while I'm trying to explain this. Basically, if I were to apply for it, they would tell me that I'm too well off to be considered for it, which is fine because I don't ever want to have to rely on something like that. But yes, Chris Chan did have Social Security that they relied on, but it wasn't enough. So what did they do? They begged other people on the internet to give them money. Okay? But for this Brony convention, they did not end up doing that. Now, the details of what went on here really is kind of sparse. But from what I understand, one of the trolls in Chris Chan's life took pity on him, I think. And I don't know a lot about this because it involves a website that I really don't know that much about. But basically, one of the people that had trolled Chris for the longest time, or was at least involved in Chris's life. Actually, I think this guy sent Chris money before in a nice gesture after his father died. Spoiler. But this guy was like, I want to help you get to BronyCon because I think that you can draw for people, and I think you're famous enough that people will just buy art from you if you draw for them. And Chris was like, sure, I'll do that. And Chris started drawing for people. Now, if you're asking if I was ever interested in their art, no, I was not. Their art style, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm very lenient with artists when it comes to art, but Chris Chan's art is just too much for me. All right, it's a little too much for me. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like the drawings. I don't really like the art style. Okay. And so they started doing art for people. They started doing videos, kind of like there's like a video service where you can like cameo. They started doing like cameos for people, drawing things for people, and everything was going really good for Chris. Like Chris was gonna go to BronyCon. It was going to be amazing. They were actually I heard they raised like a couple $1,000, and it was going good for Chris. And then this is the part where you guys are going to be weirded out if you have no idea who this is. And then what happened is it came out through a leaked phone call that Chris Chan was having how do I want to say this? Chris was having non-consensual sex with their mother. Yes, that is correct. It is not hyperbolic. Chris Chan was having, and the reason why I say it is non-consensual is his mother was getting on in years, and you could very easily tell, like if you watched videos of this individual, you could tell she was not aware. She was like in her, I don't know how old she is now, but I think she was like between 70s and 80s. She was not there. She was out of it. She was out of it. And I say non-consensual because I don't think that she had the mental capacity to understand what was going on. Okay. You know, when they talk about age of consent because young people can't agree to what's going on because they don't understand, it's basically the inverse of that, where the person is so old they really can't consent because they don't really know what's going on. And that is what was going on. Okay. And basically Chris Chan admitted, yeah, I've been doing this, and I don't know, I don't want to repeat verbatim what they said because it's just disgusting. Okay, it was disgusting, but Chris Chan basically was like, yeah, she's into it, she's really getting down to it. I listened to stuff to prep for this, guys. I if you like my dramatic retelling, please hit the like button and subscribe, because this is very hard for me because I hate I like listen to this. I listen to this, and saying it out loud almost makes me want to throw up. Can we skip this part? No, I need to tell this part of the story. It's just ugh. But yeah, basically, he admitted to a female who I believe was also a troll that he was trying to impress. Like, yeah, I did this thing, and she was into it. And basically, at this point, a lot of people were very disgusted with that. Understandably so. When I heard that Chris Chan... Because, like, here's the thing. Chris Chan, up until that point, was a very lovable fuck-up, is what I will say. Chris Chan, basically, from the beginning of their internet presence till that point, was the lovable fuck-up that everybody just kind of felt sorry for at the end of the day. If you weren't trolling Chris, you kind of felt sorry for them, even though they weren't really the nicest person in the world. But the moment they crossed that barrier, the moment they went from being the lovable mess up to that, it instantly killed like 95 to 99% of everybody's goodwill for Chris Chan. Everybody basically hated Chris Chan at that point. Understandably so, because if you don't know, at least in the I don't know the laws in other states, so I cannot speak for anywhere outside of the US, but at least in the United States, by a state-by-state basis, having sexual doing sexual acts with a member of your family is a felony in very many states. I don't know if it's every single state. I'm going to assume it's every single state except for Alabama. Now that's a joke, but almost every single state that to my knowledge will say that that is a felony, and if you commit that, that is time served in jail. Okay. Now somebody did bring up that they were also delusional, and I do believe that I do believe that there is quite a lot of delusion that was going on in Chris's head, and still is going on to this day. Okay. I firmly believe that Chris knew what they were doing. I do believe they know what they were doing. I do believe they knew it was against the law. And the reason why I think they knew it was against the law is because for the longest time, there were people that he talked to that he hid it from. Again, I don't know the full... I did a lot of prep for this. There were some streams that I watched that I had never seen before, where basically... he tried to hide that fact from people by saying, oh yeah, I have a girlfriend now. Like literally, he told some people, yeah, I have a girlfriend now. And she's a little older, but she's nice. And he basically hid for the longest time. Yeah, I'm doing this one thing with an older woman, but this older woman is also my mom. And it's just... Why? Why? So I do believe that to some extent he knew what he was doing was wrong. 110%. I also think there was a bit of him that believed that she was okay with it, and I don't believe that. I don't think she's very conscious, but I don't really know her. I can't really speak to that. And so because of that, they were eventually kicked out of their house. Not by their mom, but the police came by and served him with a protective order that kicked him out of the house. Not arresting him, but kicking him out of the house, basically saying you can't come near your mom. And so they had to go visit somewhere else. They were allowed to go visit a family member in another state, I think in Richmond, Virginia, I want to say. And then they like rescinded that, saying, no, we don't actually want you here. We heard what you did. And so Chris was basically homeless in their car. And then eventually I would pull up the footage of the arrest, because they did get arrested. Don't you get it twisted. Chris Chan was will I, you know what? I wonder if I will get in trouble. Hold on a moment. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. Let me see. Can I play this? Only reason why is I don't know if I can play this. That is... Will that work? It might. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know, I can't play that clip. Never mind. Okay, a little bit of backstory. The person that filmed... There was somebody there that filmed the arrest. I don't know too much about this person. They're like a drama reporter. That completely detached from this, but this drama reporter went and live streamed the arrest, and the live stream had naughty words on it. So all I will say is Chris Chen was arrested by cops or sheriffs, either or, and was taken to jail. Not prison, but jail. Okay? And they stayed in jail for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years, okay? Deserved? Probably. Probably. No, actually, yeah. Very much so. Very much so. Okay? But they stayed in there for 2 years, chat. Now, do you want to know what happened? Do you want to know what happened when court finally came? Do you guys want to guess what happened when court finally came? Nothing happened because no court would come. All right, court did not come at all. What happened was Chris Chan was in jail for so long, they eventually released him pending court date. Okay, they released Chris Chan pending court date, and they ended up only serving like a year and a half. They didn't serve very long. It was like a year and a half. And basically after that, the court has been kind of like in a limbo, and a lot of people are like, well, once Chris goes back, he's obviously gonna get thrown back in jail. But that's not what happened, chat. That's not what happened. Because today, if you are on Twitter, you might see Chris Chan is trending. Chris Chan's case was dismissed by a judge. The judge literally looked at Chris Chan's case of mommy fucking and said, no thank you, and just dismissed the case. So Chris Chan basically walked. They are not on the hook anymore. They are not going to have to go to court. Basically, is what I am saying. They were released into a group home. That is true. They were released into a group home, and for the most part, they've been kind of hidden. They actually have been playing a little bit of Pokemon Go. But a judge basically threw out the case. And let me tell you why I think that is the case. Let me tell you why I think that is what happened, okay? Chris Chan already served like a year and a half in jail, okay? People are gonna say that they should have gone longer. Maybe, maybe not, it's whatever. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think Chris Chan needs to be taken away from the public light and institutionalized, because their mind is so destroyed by everything that has happened. But that's not up to me, and I'm not the law. But the reason why I don't think anything else is really gonna like, maybe we're all wrong and they dismissed this for now, but they could come back up with it later. I have no idea. I really don't know. But if this is a true dismissal and they are not going to pursue it anymore, I believe that the reason why is they put him in a group home and they decided to just have him hang out there forever. Right? He's not allowed to go back home to his mom. His mother, Barbara, is not allowed to see him still. I am assuming that she is under watch, just in case he tries to go visit her. But for the most part, Chris is in a group home, and I don't think that will change unless the group home kicks him out because of all the trolls that are around. But I think that the trolls have kind of softened and decided not to do anything. Probably because they don't want him to be homeless, because if Chris Chan was homeless, that would be worse for people, in my personal opinion. So, I am just going to be straight up with you. I think that the judge looked at this and said, well, they're in a group home. They're in a group home. Let's just keep them there. I'm just gonna dismiss it, but they gotta stay there. So, I personally feel like they think that's punishment enough. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I was partially surprised that this happened, but also not really that surprised because I'm gonna be honest. Like, here's part of the problem, okay? Here is something that I feel like is a big issue. The United States law system is in the major need of help because there's a lot of things, and I feel like part of that, the issue with that is because there's a lot of things that get left by the wayside. You know, decades ago, we dramatically changed how we deal with mentally ill patients. We really don't have the same care, or it's not even really, we don't really have care for mental patients in a capacity that helps out for cases like this. And so because of that, I feel like people like Chris are just going to get left by the wayside, and either nature is going to take care of them, or they're just going to fade into obscurity. I feel like Chris Chan, I honestly don't know where it's going to go at this point. Chris Chan is really, it could go either way. They could just be, they may have been told stay off the internet, period. Or they could sneak on and try and do what they want. But I really don't know where it's gonna go. In my personal opinion, I feel like Chris Chan is kind of fading away. There's more people that people are focusing on. But the arc of them being in jail is basically over. Is over. Period. And unless they do something illegal again, I don't think he's gonna go back for the same crime. I don't. I think it's just gonna be that the way it was. And yeah. But yeah, today basically said, hey, whole case is dismissed. It's really crazy because I'm trying to remember. I feel like the way that it was found out is some people basically looked on the Virginia website and they found out that it was dismissed, which, you know, whatever. Ugh, I didn't even really mention the thing that was really weird with Chris, because I like when they were in jail, they had like no contact with the outside world, very limited. But with what we did see, Chris basically got, like, some people speculate, Chris got a hold of a Bible and started to think that they were Jesus, because they started calling themselves Jesus Christ, which is very, very sacrilegious in my personal opinion. But, you know, not between me and them, it's between them and God, so I don't really care. But Chris started referring to themselves as Jesus, which complicates how I refer to them even further, because they started out as a dude, then they transitioned into a female legally, and then they started to call themselves Jesus Christ, the Messiah, which is another dude. And so I honestly don't know. If I'm going by that logic right now, Chris sees themselves as yes, Jesus Christine Weston Chandler, goddess, yes, exactly, goddess Blueheart of the Commodore console, I believe. That is the wrap of delusion around Chris Chan, and it's just very wacky. And some people have asked me, I have a couple of friends who asked me, why do I spend all this time studying this? Why do I spend all this time studying Chris Chan or other autistic people on the internet? Because Chris Chan is not the only autistic person on the internet that is weird. There are other people. Chris Chan is just the most documented and the most well-known. But to answer that question, the reason why I document all this and I study this is because as somebody with autism myself, I would like to avoid that for the most part. I know that some people are, I know that as I grow, part of being a public figure, which is what I am slowly transitioning into, but part of being a public figure is being open to ridicule. And I know people will ridicule me one day, but I want to study these examples of people with autism and say, how can I lessen the weird behaviors that I see on the internet, you know? And Chris Chan is a really good example. Like, if you are somebody with autism that wants to succeed at life, watch the Geno Samuel documentary and then don't do anything that Chris Chan does. Because if you don't do anything that Chris Chan does, you will probably end up successful. With a modicum of decent success. The story nobody should envy, I agree. Is like a lol... Yes, people refer to Chris Chan as a lol cow. That is the term. I guess depending on who you talk to, anybody that's an internet celebrity would be considered that, but it's personal it's personal interpretation. But yes, Chris Chan is just one of those examples. And again, I have done extensive study. I have watched from the sidelines, and all I can say is, if you have autism, pay attention to Chris Chan and don't do anything they did. Ever. Alright? Ever. Never, ever, ever. Okay? Just don't do it. Period. Ugh, excuse me. And you'll probably prosper if that's the case. Anyway. That's pretty much the... That is probably the first, and maybe... I can't say that's the last time I'll talk about Chris Chan, because if Chris Chan does something newsworthy... If Chris Chan does something newsworthy, I will talk about it. I will talk about it, and you people will hear about it, because... we talk about drama. We talk about drama, and... Chris Chan is one of the weird ones, and this was definitely a weird bit of drama that I wanted to talk about. It was definitely very weird. And all I can say is Chris Chan, you may not ever see or hear of me, but if you do, alright, just get off the internet. The internet is done with you. You are no longer welcome on the internet. It is not a place where you should be. Okay? Excuse me. So, get off the internet. Chris Chan. Alright. Oh, goodness, that was... a little long-winded, but I hope that I was able to explain it in a decent way. I guess we'll wait and see. I'm gonna block Chris Chan. I don't even know if they have their original Twitter account. I don't even know. I do not know, but you know, they're definitely a very exceptional individual, and yeah, chat, just don't end up like them. What did I walk into? I feel bad for the people on TikTok that have no idea what I'm talking about. Very exceptional, very true. Very, very true. I have water here. Let me take some. Okay. Let me catch up on notifications here. Ooh, and we have the meets. Kanjo, Sup Baby Girl, WD40, and Marvin Ibsen, and EZTY Gaming. Thank you for the follows on TikTok. I appreciate it. And by the way, if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to give me a sub. I would deeply appreciate it. Have I talked about the girl that convinced Chris Chan to have... no. And I will not be talking about that individual because I have seen that if you talk about that individual, they like to be very... Oh, how do I say this? Their dad likes to remove anything negative seen about them. And so I will not talk about them... I will not talk about that person for that very reason. And all I will say about them is what they did was gross. And I think that they are getting the repercussions of what they did because of that. Just for why? Why did they do that? Because they wanted to troll. Oh my goodness. Gwubby. Did your thing go... Did it go off? Here, I'm gonna play it again. There it goes. Gwubby, thank you for joining. Welcome to the Elite Goober Squad. Thank you very much. Enjoy your emotes, your early releases when I upload them. I deeply appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Don't... Yeah, I'm not talking about that. That individual is... Like, here's the thing. When it comes to trolls, the best way to beat them is just to not talk about them. Especially when it comes to Christian. Like, Christian trolls, a lot of their power came because people kept talking about them. Especially Chris. We're just not going to talk about... We're not going to talk about that individual. They are basically gone from the internet anyway. And because they are gone from the internet, I feel like there is no reason why... there is no reason to bring them up. No reason whatsoever. What game is that? This is Warframe. Ooh, excuse me. Look up this Chris Chan MF. Just look up Chris Chan documentary. Listen to the 78-part documentary. But yeah, it's very odd individual. There's a lot of individuals on the internet like that. Some of them I kind of want to talk about. Others I don't want to talk about. Because, like, here's the thing. Chat. Goober Squad here. Alright? There's a lot of people that I feel like you can point and laugh at, and they kind of do deserve it because they're stupid. But I also don't want to talk about them because, like, some of those people... Some people, when you laugh at them, tend to not take it very well, I guess. And I'm gonna be one of those people that will always tell you to not go after the people that we talk about, because either I will talk about them and just say don't do this, or I don't know. I feel like my job as a commentary individual is to talk about the subject matter and then to tell you to be a responsible adult and to not bring attention to them, because by bringing attention to them you're just making your life hard, and you are potentially getting yourself entangled with the subject matter. And my personal kind of my personal policy is to not interact with individuals that are like that, because in doing so you entangle yourself in their drama, and so you will not see me entangle myself with that drama. There are people, and again, there's just people I don't want to talk about, because by talking about them it will entangle you in their drama, and I don't want to do that. But there's a lot of individuals like Chris Chan that I just want to talk about, because I find it funny to talk about the misadventures of people, the stupidity of people, and I don't know, Chris Chan is just one of those ones. And again, like I said, up until what they did, I felt really bad for them. You know, I rooted for them. Again, because as somebody with autism that is growing and learning and wanting to improve the lives of other autistic people, I wanted Chris Chan to be better so that they could have a better life for themselves and their mom. And you know, for the longest time I almost felt like that could happen. And it's not the case. It's not the case. But yeah. There are other individuals, exceptional individuals, that we could talk about. I appreciate you helping autistic people. Well, now, yeah, of course. My goal is to have more and more people be successful in their life. Because I grew up learning and being, not really embarrassed, but I've grown up wanting to be better. At first, when I was growing up, I wanted to be better than other autistic people. And then I grew up saying I want to help other autistic people be the change in the world that people want. Because, you know, despite the issues that some autistic people have, there are a lot of really smart ones out there. Like, a good majority of them do a lot of great things. And I just want them to succeed. Chris Chan is one of those ones that I hope just stays off the internet. That's the best thing they can do. Talk about the pink sauce lady. I know a little bit about that. I could talk about that briefly. Actually. It's me, the young man who went on a date with you and holding your wrinkly old hands in this grocery store. Hello, Minnie. Hope you've been doing well. I just got on TikTok and heard about her. Yeah, the pink sauce lady's interesting. The reason why I think she's really interesting is now, if you want my personal opinion about... Actually, you know what? Here. Alright, you asked for it. We're going to talk about it. We'll see what happens. Am I streaming on OBS? Yeah. Question mark? Yes, I am. I am streaming on Twitch and YouTube. And TikTok. Plus, like, 3 other locations. Anyway. Let's talk about the pink sauce lady. Somebody brought it up, and she is a good one to bring up, because her story, at least in my mind, the pink sauce lady, her story is over. Now, if you don't know who she is, that is fine, because the only way you would know about her is if you're on TikTok, or if you listen to other drama channels that talked about her. So let me give you a brief overview of her. I'm going to try and explain this in less than 5 minutes. Okay? So, the pink sauce lady is a woman that started making TikToks showing off this weird Pepto-Bismol looking like sauce on different foods. And I believe it was like salads and chicken and like, I don't know, spaghettis, you know? And so she showed this off in TikToks, and I believe they went viral. And because they went viral, people were asking, what is this sauce? How do I get it? How do I make it? And eventually she came out and said, hey, everybody, you don't have to ask anymore. I'm just making it for you. You can buy it on my website and I will ship it to you. And in my personal opinion, that's a kind of wholesome thing to do. You know, TikTok is actually, in my opinion, a great way to share your business. Some people might not see it that way, but if you can go viral, if you have like a good idea that can go viral, TikTok is a great way to share your business and to grow as a business owner. And I think that what she did when growing was not a bad idea. The issue is she did not have any permits to, one, sell her food, and she did not follow proper procedures for getting that food to people. So when people started ordering and getting their food, people made videos showing off how it came to them. Somebody showed a video of their food spoiled and exploded out of the bag. Very nasty looking. Some people said this was hot in the sun. And, you know, when it comes... Let me give you a short lesson. Let me give you a short lesson when it comes to... the making of sauce. All right, if you are making a sauce that has certain ingredients in it, you cannot send it traditionally. If you send a package that has eggs or milk or butter in them, you will have a product spoil if it's in the middle of the sun. And she sent this from Florida. All right, so this was in the middle of the Florida heat, and it was bad. It was very, very bad. All right. And so because of that, nobody received good product. It was really bad. And people started saying, hey, this woman doesn't know what she's doing, you know, yada, yada, yada. And it was very bad. And now she came out and said, we'll fix it. We'll get everything going. But she ended up receiving a lot of flack for this. In fact, there were people that ended up, you know, reviewing her stuff, and then she got into a beef war with one of the individuals that, like, was critical of her, and then she took this person on a TV show and, like, basically lambasted this person that was, like, being critical of... It was really bad. Like she did all of the wrong things when it comes to handling a situation like this. She did all of the wrong things, okay? And she did everything you really should not do, which is which is everything that she did. Now, eventually, it came out that she had no idea how a lot of processes worked, and she kind of faded into obscurity after that. You know, she like one of the more infamous lines that she said was, "FDA, I don't do drugs. I just deal in food." Or something like that, and not realizing that FDA is for food and drugs, not just medicine. And I think after that there was, like, I don't know if there was like a lawsuit that came into that, but basically she was basically screwed multiple different ways because of what she made and how things went the way they did. And she kind of faded into obscurity for the longest time, a couple of months, maybe like 6 or so months. Until recently. I don't know if it was yesterday, day before yesterday, but earlier this week, I started seeing people posting that she was going into bankruptcy, and she had put up a GoFundMe of about $100,000 that is insane in my personal opinion. She put up a thing saying, hey, please give me money. I'm going into bankruptcy. And that was pretty much the end of it. And I think her story is pretty much over. For this at this point because of that. So yeah, it was a very weird situation, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I personally think when it comes to her, she really didn't know everything that she was trying to do. Like, I think that she had a basic idea of how she wanted to conduct her business, but she didn't know everything. And I don't know if she just decided not to study or didn't decide to, you know, learn, but because of how she handled it, it was just messed up. It was just messed up. It was bad. Everything was bad. And so that's kind of what happened to her. I missed the detail that she got a company that manufactures pig sauce. Oh, really? I didn't actually know that. I thought it was all made by her. So did, like, she get another company to make it for her? And then... See, that's a detail I don't know, but... Like, the basic gist of it was... Woman made a product. She marketed it okay. She sold it very poorly. ends up going bankrupt because of everything that went on, and it's a good example of what not to do when you're trying to market a product. So, because of that, like, all I can tell you is be smarter and do more research when it comes to stuff like that, because you don't want to kill anybody with your pink sauce there, because if you do, that's no bueno. You're going to end up getting in a lot of trouble.
I am detecting a synthesis target. Use the synthesis scanner to track the creature.
There are void fissures in the
The reason she made a GoFundMe was due to her going bankrupt, and supposedly the company she signed to make it for isn't paying her, or she got a bad deal. I mean, again, my point doesn't change. She was not learned enough in the field of conducting proper business. Because if she was learned in the way of proper business, she would have done more research. She would have learned which companies are good companies, who to go with. She probably could have hired a lawyer, and the lawyer would have helped her go through contracts and stuff. But if she went with a bad company, that is purely something that could have been avoided if she did her research, or she hired somebody to do that research for her. But because she didn't, again, there is some things that I can say isn't her fault, but when it comes to that, it could have been avoided if you had somebody else help you out there. And as somebody that knows families that do business, that's just something that, like, you can't skimp out on. Was the pink sauce good? I have no idea. I never tried it. I don't plan on it anytime soon. I don't want to eat Pepto-Bismol. Because here's the thing. When I look at that, I just see Pepto-Bismol. And that kind of grosses me out. Just kind of grosses me out. And I am not for it. I will try it. Alright, you tell me how it was. You tell me how it goes. Where are we going? Hey. I saw it at Walmart. Oh dear. Yeah, but that's Walmart. I don't like Walmart. As somebody who shops at, like, the Kroger brand of stores, I don't like Walmart. Walmart is too... I know it's cheaper for a lot of people, but Walmart is just one of those stores that, like, rubs me in the wrong way so many ways, and they mistreat their workers so much. It's kind of sad. Another topic I might know is some dude in execs... I don't know what that word is. Stealing baby binky. What? I have never heard of this before. What kind of crazy shit is that? What the hell? You've got to be joking with me. That can't be real. What game? This is Warframe. That can't be real. You've got to be messing with me here. Critical made a video on it? Okay. Ooh, show off the game and sell it to me? Well, I'm playing it right now. You gotta be pulling my tentacle. Exactly. That's a good one. Oh, is my model not showing on, Why is my model not showing? How long has it been like that? Why is Luppet... How long has it been down there? What the heck? Sorry, this is a TikTok only thing. What the heck? Very grindy, but not pay to win. Exactly. How do I join? If you would like to join, give me your username. We are grinding relics right now, so if you don't have the relics we're going for, I would say you probably shouldn't join. Otherwise, you don't get the benefit from it. Someone who's worked there, yes, they do mistreat their workers. Yes, they do. Make you guys do weird-ass dances for them. I know it's not every Walmart, but I've seen videos. I have seen videos. And I do not like it. How am I? I'm good. How are you? How are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope you all are doing fantastic tonight. Today has been a pretty good day for me. I've been chilling, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of in a limbo state right now. I had a job interview for a position at in my place of work. And the owner hasn't made his decision yet. I don't know why he hasn't made his decision yet. I can only speculate. But because of that, I've kind of been in a limbo because some things I'd like to plan, I've been unable to plan. And because I've been unable to plan them, I've kind of just been like sitting here saying, I've not asked my boss every day, but I've asked him like every other day. It's like, do you have a choice yet? You told me you'd have this last week. And he's like, nope. Okay. So I'm kind of in just this limbo right now. And part of that limbo is also just with me playing games. Because sadly right now, a lot of games aren't catching it for me. Like Warframe is catching it for me. But I really am only playing it to prep for TennoCon. Otherwise, I would only really enjoy it on stream. I kind of want to play Baldur's Gate, but at the same time, I know I want to stream it as well. But then the other part of me is like, do I even want to stream Baldur's Gate? Like, that's the thing. Chat, do you want to see me play Baldur's Gate? I know you're not my entire audience here, but do you want to see me stream Baldur's Gate? I'm asking as somebody who wants to know what you want to see. Because if you don't want to see me play that, I might just continue enjoying it off camera. Yes. Well, Temp, here's the thing. If I play Baldur's Gate, I'll just stream it to you, to my friends. I should try Naraka. Isn't that like a battle royale? There it is. I can't think right now. Isn't that a battle royale? Baldur's Gate is overrated? I disagree. Do you want to know why I disagree? We haven't had any good D&D content for a while. D&D is kind of like... Or, not D&D. Wizards of the Coast is kind of like giving the middle finger to a lot of the people that support it, so... People have been starved for good D&D content. I don't want to see it. I'm seeing a lot of no's that they don't want to see it. What I may do is just end up playing Baldur's Gate on my own. With friends. We'll see. What do you mean Chris Chan is released? Chris Chan is no longer in custody. And their case was dismissed. I want to see it. Kat, you might be a minority opinion. I'm sorry to say. Ugh, excuse me. We're just kind of jumping around here. I think we're only gonna do 2 hours today. I kind of need to get good rest. I'm not quite sure when we're gonna start streaming tomorrow. I had planned on starting it at my normal time, but I know that TennoCon starts at a specific time, and we're not gonna cover the entire thing. What we're gonna do is I'm going to cover the new stuff, and that's really about it. I'm gonna play V Rising. What is V Rising? I have no idea what that is. No way they are in jail? Nope, they are free right now. Ugh. Excuse me. I'm on Temp's side. Well, Temp doesn't get an opinion because he's my mod.
The Grenier have been harvesting a nearby planetoid for weapons-grade material. Locate and destroy their mining equipment. Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a magic
Ugh,
relic?
excuse me.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Wait, what the hell? What happened to my weapon?
Near a fissure.
Did somebody take my weapon?
Drop a reactant. You are going to need
Yes.
a reactant if you want.
Funny thing about Baldur's Gate is that everybody is horny for your character. Yeah,
Nobody knows you're here.
it's very true.
Success hinges on the destruction of the mining
Wait, did somebody take my gun again?
heavy resistance.
The heck? Am I able to invite people cross-platform? I am able to invite people cross-platform, yes. If you're asking to play with me, you may, but I'm not going to be streaming much longer.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Oh, this is a good song. From a very decent Mario and Luigi game. I don't know. Going back to Baldur's Gate, the only reason why I'm kind of just hesitant is I want to focus on what people want to see. You know, right now I'm kind of just trying to build up the audience towards not just Warframe and more just commentary. Like, Warframe will still be a major component in the background of what I do. But I want to have commentary be, like, more of an element. That's why I'm trying to do it more. And why I'm trying to slowly move towards uploading more frequently. So that I can give more commentary content. But in that period in between, I think games that a lot of people just don't care to see will probably just be pushed to the wayside because of that. And that's okay. I honestly don't mind too much. I understand how it works. I watch you for the podcast, and hey, I am glad that you're here just because you like listening. I appreciate that.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
V Rising is a vampire survival base builder. That sounds interesting. How would you invite me? I'm a returning player. You give me your username, and I add you to the game. And then you accept the invite.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Have I played Dragon's Dogma? I have never heard of Dragon's Dogma, so no, probably not. I'm gonna assume that's your username. Alright, I was waiting for that guy to leave. Again, I'm not quite sure how much longer I'm gonna go. We'll see. Once I am done here, I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the night. I need to use the mute button more when I cough. Because it's very annoying. I understand it's very annoying to hear people cough. Excuse me. V-Rising is on Steam, but it is buy to play. Well, that's fair. Focus on what people want to see, but also play what you enjoy. Oh, trust me, I enjoy playing. If I did not enjoy playing Warframe, I wouldn't be playing it. I'd do something else, but I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. You know, they only ever show us one side of Earth. I want to know what the states look like. I only see South Africa, or just Africa, and Europe, and Russia. I want to see America and Canada. I want to see it on fire. I want to see what the Orkan did to my homeland. Oh, goodness. I play Narca a lot. Let me look at it then. Oh, this is the game that had the near crossover. The one and only melee focus battle. Okay, they say it's a melee focus, but there's a woman with a bow. Bows are not melee focused. I hope you know that. Jeez. Just putting a big... Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with putting a big female... big titty female on the front of the page there. But holy cow. It sounds like I don't get... Wait, do you play... Oh, is it a gacha game? Do you have to roll the character? Is it like League of Legends where you get the characters and you have to pay for the skins? Or is it a gacha game? If it's a gacha game, you're not gonna see me playing it. I'm sorry. I have a hatred for gacha games and games where you have to roll characters randomly. Well, they aren't focused on bows. Yeah, but the bow is literally the first screenshot I saw. I don't know if that I just got unlucky there, but that's the first picture they show.
You're still in the clear. No detection.
Woman shooting a bow.
That's it.
Ooh.
Open the relic.
Excuse me.
Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Ranged weapons do little damage. Oh, that's kind of dumb. I would assume that if you're shooting a bow with a sharp end on it, it would hurt somebody a lot. I hope you know I'm riffing on a game that I know nothing about, so I'm mostly joking here. Ranged weapons are nasty when you get headshots? Exactly, that's how it should be. If I shoot you in the eye with a bow, you should die instantly, okay? Now, I'm never gonna do that. Alright, this isn't a call to violence. It's me just telling you, if I shoot you in the eye with a bow, well, not point blank, but if I shoot you in the eye with a bow, you're probably dead. Alright? It's just a fact. I took archery for like all of 10 minutes. I know what I'm doing. Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, give me that. I'll sell it. How will you get a headshot on someone moving faster than you can hit? Who knows? Same way you do in frickin' Fortnite. Get good. Musket. Oh, they have guns? Hang on a moment. This looked like a game that's all melee. Do they actually have firearms? Chat, it's a 0 out of 10. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! 0 out of 10. You can't convince me otherwise. Naraka Blade Point, 0 out of 10. They have guns in it. Alright? In my melee focused video game. In my video game that is melee focused, you have bows, you have muskets. What's next? Do they have sniper rifles? Do I get to kill somebody with a fishing rod? That's a Minecraft reference, but like, this don't sound very melee focused to me. Again, I am just bullshitting right now. Oh, goodness. I'll have to take a look at it later. I have no idea. It looks interesting. I had to put that there for the people. Well, okay, here's the thing. If the guns are meta, nobody's gonna use anything else. And then it's gonna suck when I'm trying to use my melee weapon and I get domed by a musket, because that's what the sweaty guys are gonna do. That's why I don't like PvP. They just exploit one thing instead of having something that's all rounded. And that's why if you're saying it's melee focused, it should stay melee focused. Because if you don't keep it that way, it's going to ruin what you're going for. Oh goodness, don't get stuck in the wall. I have a mounted cannon at the top of my stairs loaded with a crate. Oh my gosh. Is that something you can do in the game? Please don't tell me you can actually do that in the game. That sounds ridiculous. No? Okay. I just quoted a meme. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Part of me was thinking maybe it wasn't real, but I had to make sure. I have to make sure, chat. You guys sometimes say weird stuff and it ends up being true. It's not like Fortnite, but see, here's the thing. There's guns in it. Now, everybody knows that Fortnite was the first battle royale. Listen, everybody knows Fortnite was the very first battle royale. Nobody, Minecraft, did it before Fortnite did. And so because of that, whenever there's another battle royale, they're just carbon copies, alright? It's just a carbon copy of Fortnite. And if you copy Fortnite, all I'm going to call it is a Fortnite clone, alright? So if you want to tell me that this game that is melee focused has guns in it, guess what? It's just a Fortnite clone. It's just a Fortnite clone. It's just a Fortnite clone. POV, you played Apex in beta? I have never touched Apex. I've like played none of them. I've not played any of them. I've not played Valorant. I've not played Apex. I've not touched Overwatch. I've not even played TF2, which is probably considered the first. Thanks, now I really hate Fortnite. Well, that wasn't my goal. I've never played TF. No, I never ever played. Well, okay, that's kind of a lie. I have played TF2 for a combined total of like 10 minutes. I just never got into it. And I had nobody to play it with, so it wasn't fun for me. And again, I hate PvP. Oh, come on, guys. We gotta keep the hostage alive. Where is he? Where is the hostage? Are we going to let this hostage die because nobody is keeping track of him? Where is he? He's invisible. Where the heck is he? He's invisible! Have I played Overwatch? No, and I don't plan on it anytime soon. I've heard that it is a trash game with trash devs. How good is Kong? Wukong is boring. That's how good he is. That's how good he is. He's not even worth picking up his stuff. What about D4? I mentioned it in my video I uploaded today. I will never, ever, ever touch Diablo. Diablo 4 has been ruined. Diablo 4 started out alright, but it was ruined. And basically, I don't ever think I'll touch it. I played Overwatch 2, it's not trash, like the community complains about how they code Overwatch 2. How good is Limbo? Limbo is a troll, and that is all that needs to be said about it. If you play Limbo, you are a troll. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't think the community knows how hard it is to try and pick up from other people when it comes to code. I mean, I can agree with you to some extent, but if you say you're gonna do something and then you can do it, you shouldn't make those kinds of like, okay. That's another thing I have an issue with. When it comes to programmers over-promising on things, they did this with Minecraft. Don't promise more than you know you're able to do. If you're a brand new programmer, don't promise anything. Like, if the reason why they decided to not add PvE, and now they're adding PvE because people are threatening to leave in droves. Like, I see a major disconnect here. Team who promised it left? Well, then they should have come out and said, hey, guys, the people who said they were going to make it, yeah, they're gone now. We're probably not going to do this anymore. Now, I know they probably can't say that because then they know that they would lose shit tons of money. But guess what? All it will do is ruin your connection with the people that you're trying to market your product to.
You found a fissure. Look out for reactants.
So, you know, I think that the lack of communication is really what ruined it. You know? That's that's what it did. Don't you have to pay for... Yeah, I heard you have to pay for PvE now, even though people were promised that if they bought Overwatch 2, they wouldn't. And now they have to. Dude. Again, Overwatch 2 sucks. I hate it. Never gonna touch it, never gonna play it. You cannot convince me. The people who make it are scumlords. Just like a lot of the people... Now, I will tell you that Bungie is kind of mopping themselves up. I've been very critical of Bungie. And so far, I've actually gotten on Destiny a couple more times than I did last season, which is funny. So, because of that, I think Bungie might make a turnaround. Maybe. Maybe. But I can't promise anything. We'll see. Hopefully they do. I would like Bungie to correct themselves. It would really suck if they didn't. What's worse, Overwatch 2, Destiny, D4, or Fortnite? Right now, I think it's a tie between Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4. Destiny, I think, is above all three of those just because... Well, actually, I can't say that. Fortnite is probably better than all four of those. Just because Fortnite has been pretty consistent.
Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside. We are finished here.
I'm a D1 day on Veteran, and this is much better than last season. Oh yeah, the new season that came out today, so much more replayability. So much more love and care went into this season. I can feel it. If this... Here's what I'll tell you guys. If this season and the next season go well, I will stream Final Shape. Alright, I know I said I would probably never stream Destiny again, but if they're gonna pick themselves up after such defeat, yeah, I'll do it. I will eat my words, say I was wrong, that they fixed it, I'm not gonna delete the content I made on it, because it's content I made. But, I will say that they fixed it. And... excuse me. I'll retract what I said.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Watch showcase, it seems like it's getting better. It does. And see if it's saying how scummy D2 is when it comes to free-to-play. Yeah, they really don't have a free-to-play. They really should just say, hey, don't expect a free-to-play experience, just give us money. Some of their microtransactions still suck. But... I'm willing to put down the pitchfork for a season or two. A Wisp that's more OP than mine. I never built for Wisp. Wisp is really easy to build for. Just go for duration.
Completed. Move on.
Energy if you want to keep using her abilities. Replace her 4 with Eclipse. That she have more damage. And it's very stupid.
Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position.
What they really made is free to play in a year? I mean, I guess. It's kind of subjective in my personal opinion.
Unit approaching.
And I see what you're saying, Blue Assassin. I just think that the lack of communicate... When it comes to Overwatch, their complete lack of good communication is what ruined it for people. And because of that, I don't think it's redeemable. That's my personal opinion, though. And maybe that's my bias because I hate...
Still working.
I dislike games like that. I dislike a lot of PvP. But I don't think the game is redeemable right now. I definitely think a lot of people have good reasons to complain. Isn't Overwatch 2 free? I believe... I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody told me you had to pay for it. I don't know the... I can't remember the full story. What I will tell you is this.
The odds were
From what I heard, I hate it.
but we did.
And I feel like they are doing a horrible job at picking up the pieces. Okay? That's all I will say. Anyway, I think that this will be the last round for tonight. I've exhausted myself talking about the most known autistic individual in the universe. And I honestly need to rest. But anyway... Anyway, what I will say is thank you for joining me tonight. Tomorrow, we will be watching TennoCon, hopefully. If not, we'll just be hunting relics like normal. And we'll have the stream on in the background, maybe. We'll figure out something. I'm not sure. But for the most part, I am going to be done for now. I deeply appreciate everybody who has decided to come along. You guys are amazing. I am going to get some rest soon. And until tomorrow, when TennoCon happens, thank you so much for being here. You guys are fantastic, great people, and I do appreciate each and every single one of you. So until then, have a good night. Bye!